Corporal Randall here. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, comment on the video. If you'd like to hear more of what I have to say, subscribe to the channel. Fear, an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, whether real or perceived. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions. You may not know this, but emotions can actually overpower your intellect or your ability to think rationally. However, fear has been with us since early man. Fear has a purpose. For most of humanity, it kept us alive. It let us know when we should run for help or hide, vice when we should continue to move forward. But because fear is such a strong motivator, it can be used against you. It's like that right to remain silent. In many places, you could say that fear has now been put on a permanent drip, almost like an IV feed, where every chance given, they hit the button so you can get another dose of fear. It's all over many different places in today's society. Just look at the news. The first thing you're going to see is all the reasons you should never leave the house again. I mean, from riots to murder, robberies, car accidents, or COVID. All of these things can happen. Statistically, it will happen to someone every day, whether you leave the house or not. Since COVID is in the news a lot, and I've never brought up the topic, I'm going to touch on just lightly a couple of things. I'm not getting into the whole mask, no mask debate or whether we should open or close. Everyone's going to have to make that decision for themselves. That's not my place. What I will teach you is how they've used the fear of COVID to control you. How is that, you ask? Simply put, if I were to ask you what percentage of the American population has died of COVID, what would you say? 10, 15, 20, 25%? Okay. What if I told you it was less than 0.01%? You're not as scared now. Okay, for that same scenario, suppose I told you that the COVID-19 virus, as of the 23rd of September 2020, had killed over 188,000 Americans. That's a large number, and my condolences go out to the families of those who have lost someone. But if I then told you that there are over 300 million Americans, and on top of over 300 million Americans, when you look at the numbers, the amount of people that have died with COVID, 93.6% of them were over the age of 50. Most people aren't over 50 in America, which means the majority of America isn't at a giant risk. I actually went to the CDC website to get all of my numbers because I didn't want to be incorrect. So these are the numbers as of the 23rd because they only do a weekly update. So the top 10 reasons for death of people in the United States under the age of 54, none of them are COVID. Hey, only one of them was even the flu. And that's only for one specific age group. So yes, it's dangerous and threatening. But the fear of the unknown, the fear of the possibility of you getting this, allows other people to control you. Now you may ask, what company, what person, what entity would want to control you? Simple. Most people today get their news from social media. What happens is they see something lightly researched that a friend of theirs has said. Their friend, someone they know and they trust, they don't see them as someone who would intentionally deceive them. So what do? They believe their friend. So this misinformation gets pushed and pushed and pushed, no matter which side the misinformation is coming from. Why don't social media companies or the news organizations change this? Profit. We are in a capitalist system. What happens is they want your eyeballs. The longer they can keep you sitting where you are, looking at a screen, the more they can make off you. How? Well, their advertisers want you to see the products they're advertising. So if they start with something that scares you into not changing the channel, not getting up, well, they've just done their job. They've got you to stay in place just long enough to get another pair of eyeballs for a short period of time. For some, the fear mechanism is a lot stronger than others. There are those that any fear can pretty much paralyze them. And there are those who are naturally resistant to fear motivation. Depending on what group you are, you're going to see things in a different light. Well, hopefully, you're in the group that are able to override your sense of fear by looking at numbers and math. Don't forget to like, subscribe, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment, share the video. Corporal Randall, out.